All right, guys, we're here in Montana in August. It's 83 degrees, feels great out here. We just got into town at the dealership, just got everything tuned up from the road trip. Had to call a crane to get the trailer off, but we got the trucks unloaded. We got the four-wheeler on the back, and we're about to go to the new property we're thinking about purchasing. On here on the map, massive map, 4X farm, huge. We are looking at purchasing Bison Ridge farm. So we can't visit it, so I installed the mod that doesn't allow teleporting. So we're gonna try to be a little more realistic with this one. But this place is great. Really cheap, 173 grand. I can get that field, and I believe if I do my quick math, I got 2.7 million. So let me get my calculator out. If I want to purchase all the fields I want, so that's 167 plus 419 plus 133 plus 173. That's 892,000. So we'll still be left with nearly $2 million for equipment. But the other thing about this series is I want to get into beef cattle. And the thing with beef cattle is you need to buy baby calves, I guess is the right word, every month, because you could just go ahead and fill up your whole barn full of calves on the first month. But they only get their value once they're fully grown, so you're playing the game of buying a bunch of cows at once, selling them all at once they're worth money. And I don't really want to do that. I kind of want to continuously sell beef cattle to make money, or we may get into it and we may realize after a year that beef cattle suck and that we need to switch to dairy. But we're going to be doing cows. This map is absolutely amazing. I've done several playthroughs on it so far. Up here on our right, you can see the logos. That is the Jack Daniel's distillery and a Yingling lager brewery, not distillery, as well. Then we got a gas station right here and the farmer's market right here. So we're pretty close to the farmer's market for selling points. Another reason why I picked Bison Ridge is that down here there is where's that? Right here, the Montana Hay Company. So a big part of this playthrough is I'm going to be doing hay and to feed the cows, of course, but also to make money. You know, the cows may not eat all the hay that month, so I'm going to sell it. And we're close to the hay company. We're not too far off, and we can sell things rather quickly. And I'm spinning out right here, so I'm going too fast. A luxury we had on the Michigan map was the signs. You couldn't drive through them, or you could drive through them. Here, not so much. We're going to be taking out signs left and right. We're going to try to keep things on the road as much as possible. I don't know what just happened there. Something's blocking me. I feel like I remember that being an issue the last time I played through here. I played on this exact farm once before, and then something happened with my hard drive, and I lost the entire thing, and I was very upset about it. So we're going to rebuild it. But yeah, I like these fields because as you can see right there, that is a canola field and it is ready to harvest, and canola sells for a lot of money. So that'll be a good bump of income right at the start. You know, it'll cost about 40 grand to lease a harvester, but we're not going to be purchasing a harvester. That's just a little overkill for what we want to do. But we're going to go ahead and put in the offer and purchase this property, and then I'm going to unload the four-wheeler, and I'm going to purchase some equipment, bring it all back over here, and then we will do a rundown of what we got, why we got it, and what we're going to use it for. So I'll see you guys in a bit with a full equipment rundown and tour of the new property. We spent nearly $2 million already, but we bought everything. We don't need anything else for a while. We're heading back to the shop right now with this trailer because it's going to take us several trips to get everything. Part of this challenge with the no teleporting is I can't hit tab. I'm hitting tab right now. I can't tab between vehicles. We have to travel. We have to do everything ourselves. And that's what I like. That's what it's going to be fun. But we got these 3 fields right here. Still got $823,000 left. This money is going to be used for buying baby cattle, calves, if you would say, pretty much monthly. So I want to figure out the best method for buying young cattle, and then the next month buy more, and then the next month buy more. That way every single month I'm making something off of those by selling those cows, and I'm replacing them with more. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way, is not buying everything at once, just keep it going. But yeah, we'll go from there. We are heading back. So one unique thing about the farm I bought, one unique thing about this map really, is there's several pre-existing farms. There's the Copper Creek Homestead, Wild Prairie Ranch, Timber and Sage Ranch, Bison Ridge Farm, that's what I'm on, Snowcap Hollow, Big Sky, all these spots, even open lots for you to build your own. But with those, they come with a corn dryer and a fermenting silo. So a fermenting silo, you just dump all of your grass into it, and then you can make silage. So what I've purchased is a forage wagon and a mower. Ooh, I need a tedder. That's what I did not get. I'll need a tedder and a windrower, actually. Okay. We'll come back for those. We'll come back for those whenever we decide to do it. Because if we want to make TMR, we're going to need everything. But yeah, basically, that fermenting silo, you can drop your grass in there and it'll turn it into silage for you, or haylage is what it says on there. There's a little bit of the fleet you just kind of saw as we drove past it. This dealership has all of these tractors and items out here, and you can technically use them. You can't use AI workers with them, which I think is good, but technically, if I wanted to take this S7 combine, I could get in it and do it. We're obviously not going to do that. We're going to purchase everything that we need, because really we don't need much out here. I'm not going to be doing a ton of field work in terms of planting and rolling and fertilizing for sure with our grass, but yeah, not a ton of that, so we don't really need all this stuff. I've got the 2 tractors I need, I've got a mower, I've got the forage wagon. We're pretty much good to go. All I gotta do now is start buying some cows. So let's lower those ramps, and we will leave the truck running, and then we will hop in the semi, crank it up, and lower that ramp as well. Okay, so the 2 tractors we got the John Deere, it's very blurry, that's strange, it's the 6R. It was, where's it at? It was this one right here. We got it. It's 281 horsepower. It's more than enough for now for the small stuff. And then we also have the ability to go up with it later. But we bought that one, and then we also bought the 8R, big guy. So this will be the one that's used for hauling our forage wagon, collecting grass and all of that. So let's just see if we can get both of these tractors onto the semi, and then if I can get the mower, we may have to make a couple trips. We're actually going to set an AI worker to drive this back for us, so we don't have to take so many trips. We can have the tractors drive the equipment back, and then I still need to get a tedder and a windrower, so I'll put those on the trailer. Man, this no tab thing, no teleports, kind of starting to get to me. That's okay, part of the challenge. We have leased a combine and a header, the largest header they had. We're heading to take care of this canola field. Very, very low yield, but it only costs like $25,000 for me to lease this equipment, so hopefully we can at least make that back. But yeah, we're gonna get a worker started on that, and then we're gonna go back to the shop on the 4-wheeler so we can pick up the semi truck. because that's just what I decided to drive over there to pick up the combine for whatever reason. But we're just going to take down that sign right there. And then we are going to detach from the trailer. We're going to pick up this massive header. This is the same header I had in Michigan. It was a case one though when I was using it. Please tell me this connects. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Much better. Alright, so they're off to the races. Yeah, this 55,000, not horrible. Canola we can sell for a decent price. 1,300 in December, so we'll at least have something. But I need to run all the way back over here to the farmyard and hop on the four-wheeler. We're going to drive that back to the shop just to get the semi back over here. And then I'll give you a grand tour of everything. We've kind of got stuff in place. We've got our 2 tractors, and we've got our forage wagon, and our trailer, and our mower, and our tedder, and our windrower, and a baler. So we've got everything to feed the cows. We're going to start purchasing cows, I think, next month, so we can start the operation. Yeah, there's the baler, and we've got the trailer here. That's just going to be the standard trailer for, you know, whatever we need it for, because the forage wagon can only hold certain items. Got the tedder and the mower and a windrower and the forage wagon, and then all of our tractors are in this shed right here. Say all of them, it's just 2, but we got them in there. That's really about it. Yeah, let's head back to the shop and pick up the semi and get it back on over here. All right, got the truck back. Our helper out harvesting the canola right now has a full tank, so we're gonna hop in the 8R. Oh, not that one. In this one, and we're gonna go empty them out. And I'm not even sure if I have a silo here. I think I do. I think I have a silo and a corn dryer, but I need to make sure. Another mod. With the cows, I'm gonna need some kind of a loader, you know, some kind of a skid steer, forklift, telehandler, lull, something like that to load bales and feed and all kinds of stuff like that. So we installed a mod. We got the JCB Teleskid. I saw some other guys on YouTube with this, and it looked awesome. So I just purchased it. We're about to go to the shop to pick it up. I also got this John Deere little side-by-side right here, so we can move around the farm a good bit. I need to check on the combine and make sure it's not out of storage yet. Oh man, this thing's slow. I didn't realize it only goes 32. We may need to take this back and see what else we can get. Yeah, we'll definitely actually, let's do that right now. That thing sucks. I really thought that was going to be a little bit faster. 32 is just really slow. Let's just go to the mod hub together. Let's check things out as friends. So let's go to cars and bikes, and let's just look around. There's this old gator. Oh my gosh. Goes 53 kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in American, but here's the one I used on another map at one point. 75 kilometers per hour. What is 75 kph? Oh wait, no, that's horsepower or maximum speed 79. That's about 50. That's not bad. Is there any others? No. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one instead. 50 miles an hour is great, and I can get the little tipper bed and customize it a bit more. That other one just kind of stuck with the bland, you know. All the mods I have, I'll just go ahead and give you a full tour while that's downloading right now. I probably only use like a third of these. A lot of these were downloaded from playing on servers, and they, had mods on there that I had to install, but I've never actually touched. Like the John Deere 7810 and 4755. I've never used them. Enhanced Vehicle is a new thing that I downloaded a week or two ago that it just kind of gives you a little more information about the vehicle. Judith Plains, Montana 4X, that's the map we're on. The Lizard Colossus pack is purely just for fun on some of my test worlds. You can have a harvester go 150 miles per hour with a 50 meter wide header. It's just, whatever. 2018 Ram truck. I thought about using that one for a while. I don't, but still in here. Bigger animals, other trucks, a four-wheeler, lazy distribution. We'll get into that one day. I'll show it to you. Auto load. Yeah, a lot of cosmetic stuff. Got the lawnmower. I'll need to get one of these eventually. All right, back of the shop. We have everything here that we purchased. We're going to upgrade the 8R a little bit. We're going to put some bigger wheels on it. Some twin wheels, just to give it a little bit more traction. But this is the teleskid that we got. I think it's pretty sick. I'm about to be getting a joystick soon for my home office, so that'll make operating this thing a little bit easier. But let's just go ahead and attach to the forks. Yeah, so this is... Yeah, there it goes. So you can do some crazy stuff with this. Should be able to hold a good bit of weight. So shouldn't have any problems with the bales. Alright, we have quite the large machine now. Put some twin wheels on the back. I think it just looks sick. And we didn't do any fancy wheels or anything like that on the last series, so we're going to edit this one a little bit and have a nice massive tractor. Let's see if we can even get it on the trailer. And man, that just barely fits. Last thing that we bought right over here, this is a tree be gone. Basically I just throw it on the front of a tractor and I can get rid of any trees that I need to. Just a little helpful thing for whenever I need to get rid of something and I don't want to use a chainsaw and go through all of that. So we're absolutely loaded to the max. The truck is very squatted. We're going to head back to the farm and finish up the harvest and then really get started on our cattle project. So this is how the new little tool I got, the tree be gone. This is how this works. We're going to drive on up to it with the tractor. Wrong way. Oops. And you just attach it to the front if you can line it up like I can't. It's very heavy. You normally do need a back wheel weight for it, but I don't have one right now, so we're just gonna go on with it. So this tree right here, every time I've played on this map and I've played on this exact farmyard, this tree makes me want to kick a wall. So we're just going to get rid of it. So you lower it and you turn it on. then you just drive up to it, and you can see it's even taking out the grass, so it's acting like a lawnmower. But that's all it does. It just gets rid of the tree, nice and easy for you. And I guess it can even cut grass, so that's cool. Does bushes and everything. Yeah, that's literally all it's used for, and I think they're great. So yeah, before we do that, this is our cow barn. This is where we're going to be handling all the animals. I know I've been saying beef cattle, but it's pretty large, so I might get some beef and dairy and just handle them both. So we're empty right now, but it's a pretty cool little operation. Got our little gate right there, and then this is where you would get the milk out of it. So we'd have to get a milk truck, but you know, it's fine. Let's. I think this one holds 500. Let's see. Yeah, 500. But with the cows, I bought that animal trailer right over there. Can't hardly see it. So we can actually go pick up the animals. The delivery fee is kind of expensive, and I want to try to be somewhat realistic about this one. So we're going to go pick up all the animals we purchase. So that's going to be fun and new. But yeah. Alright, we got a mower. It works. This is the setup that I really like running, with the mower in the front and the tedder in the back. And then we'll follow behind again with the windrower so we can get our bales of hay. We'll start with hay to do our feeding, and then we'll eventually switch over to silage and TMR and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead. Mower's lowered. Switch over to the tedder, and we will unfold it. The tedder's absolutely massive too. It's much bigger than the mower, but it's just what I bought, so oh well. It's fine. Alright, the first field of grass has been mowed and flipped on over to hay and windrowed. So next part of the plan, I know we can grow grass pretty much any time, but I just want to check the calendar before I lease equipment. Yeah, we can still plant today. So I'm going to lease a seeder or whatever I need to plant this field. We're going to convert this to grass as well. So let's head on into the shop, and I mean, I might as well go big so I can get it done faster. But I may need to go with the horse again, what I used on the last farm, just because it lets you go directly into the ground without any cultivation. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to lease that. 10 grand, not too bad. So we've leased that. I'm gonna purchase some seeds and stuff and get over there, but yeah, so I think the plan is to take the big tractor, collect all of this while that is being planted, and then go ahead and fill up the cow barn with some grass so that we can go ahead and have some food in there. And then we're going to make our first purchase of cattle, I think, tomorrow. So let's take the big tractor, and we'll head to the shop and pick up our seeder and some seeds and everything we'll need. Where did I leave it? Here it is. Yeah, here's the big fella. So we're gonna head to the shop and grab the seeder and fill it up there and come back and plant that field. So I'll be back with you once that's planted and once we get the hay all picked up, and we'll purchase some cows before the end of this episode. So be back to you in just a minute. Alright, we've got the big tractor over there planting some grass. We've got our first full load of hay, and we are going through the cattle gate right here. Not worried about any cows getting out because we don't have any. And we're going to go into the barn right here and dump this out. And this is basically just going to be what we do for the next few hours, is collecting the hay and dumping it here for them to eat. I think we're going to start out with younger cattle, so they're not going to eat as much. We're also not going to have a ton. So I'm thinking we're going to take these two fields, 43 and 34, and use them to feed. Oh no. I'm so dumb. I got to get to my Ranger right now. I accidentally put wheat seeds in this big tractor and not grass. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, we gotta get out here and tell this guy, because we gotta fix that. I don't want a wheat field. I don't need a wheat field. I need grass so I can make hay and silage and all these types of bales to make money. What I was saying is those other two small fields is going to be our feeding fields, and then this one, we will use it to, oh my gosh. Okay, we need to have a chat. Oh, okay. We switched it over to grass. Maybe he'll go back over the wheat. I don't know. We're going to come back over here and start him over here and see if that fixes it, but that's not cool. Worst case scenario, I can just lease a plow and plow over it, or a cultivator or whatever I need, and redo it. But okay, we're gonna start him again, and we're going to run all the way back over here to our Ranger. Okay, we cheated a little bit, but we fixed it. I just went into the field options and set it to something, just to set it all to one thing so he would start working on it. But he's working on it now. Should be fine. That's okay. It happens. But all right, let's go back over here. What I was saying is we're going to use this big field to be our baling field, and we will get hay and silage bales out of there, because on this map, hay bales actually make a little bit of money. Where's that? There's alfalfa hay. Alfalfa hay is $210 a bale. It just takes longer to grow, but is it not up here? There's alfalfa. It's $189 just for the regular, but not tedded up for hay. I guess it's down here. There it is, $111. So we might do alfalfa later. We'll just have to replant. We'll see though. But yeah, I'm going to take this big field over here and get all that hay collected, get it dumped into the barn so we can feed the cows that we buy tomorrow in October. But I'm going to get to work on all this, and I'll see you back at the animal dealer so we can purchase our first cattle. Alright, we are heading to the animal dealer to get some cows. I've already done 2 loads of cows. This trailer holds 12. By my calculations, I think if we purchase 36 0-month-old calves per month, technically it needs to be like 41, but if we do 36 per month, then we'll be able to sell those 36 per month. You know, once they're fully grown, we'll be able to sell cattle each month and continuously make money. Buying them in stages is much easier to make money. I could invest now and just go ahead and buy 500 0-month-old cows, but then I only get one big paycheck in, 24 months instead of smaller paychecks every month starting 2 years from now. But we got the big field and the other 2 fields all planted and fertilized and growing and stuff. Currently 353,000 liters of grass in there. So doing pretty well. But I'm going to pull up here, and then we're going to purchase some more Angus. I think I'm going to rotate it out month per month. So we'll do Angus 1 month, and then I think it's Limousine the next for the beef cattle. But from everything I've been seeing, beef cattle don't make a ton of money, so this is going to be more of a grind, but I like it because I haven't done them before. I could just purchase them at the actual farm and get them delivered for a small fee, but I don't really want to do that, so all we do is we just pull up right here over the logo, get out of the truck, it's super loud, and then we will take these, we'll do 12, and we'll click buy, and move them on into the trailer, and now they're in here. So now we'll drive back to the farm, and I'll show you how I dump them off, and then yeah, we'll get moving with it. So I did update the inside of the semi. I added wood paneling on the inside, just gives it a nice kind of different look that I prefer, but still got the sleeper cab, took the visor off, and dropped the window tint down to clear. So I'm just gonna cut around the mailman, go through our field right here. I have been thinking that while we wait on the cattle to grow, I don't really want this to just be a whole series of me cutting hay and baling and selling it, so I am thinking about a field purchase and picking a crop. I'm thinking corn. We didn't do corn on the last map, we just did grain and beans. So I'm thinking corn, just as something different. But there's also something cool on this map, and once we dump these last cows off, I'll go show it to you. Farm Sim SWU, aka Socks Way Up, he did a series on this map. It was a whiskey series, and he built his own whiskey mod and all this other stuff. But there's a in-game whiskey distillery here, and I'm thinking about doing whiskey, just because all you need is corn and barley and water, and we can do that. So if I can, well, let me shut this door since I can't squeeze around it. But park the trailer back here, hit R, and then we're gonna move all of these guys into the husbandry, is what it's called. We'll go take a look at them. So we got plenty of hay in here. They're gonna start eating it up, and then we got some cows. We've got some Angus. Looks like there's brown. No, they're all black Angus. I don't know why there's brown cows in here. Oh well, might just be a thing. He's just a brown Angus, but yeah, supposed to have 36 of these. I guess 4 of them didn't make it somewhere, so we'll get those 4 picked up soon. But I'm gonna drive over to the whiskey distillery and show you what that's all about. We'll take the pickup right over here. Having the node teleport mod is pretty fun. Getting to actually walk around, and you know, if I leave my tractor somewhere, I need to take the Ranger over there to pick it up. You know, it kind of gives a little more usefulness to some of the equipment. But I have noticed that it's kind of difficult sometimes. You know, on the previous map, this is my first time playing Farming Simulator without the teleportation stuff, so it's a learning curve, but it's fine. It's working. We're doing great. While we're driving over here, I'll talk a little bit about money. So it only costs $3,600 per load of cattle to take them over to the farm. So we're only looking at just over 10 grand per day. So I need at least $130,000 to get us through a whole year of purchasing cows. So that leaves us with nearly $200,000 left to use for other things. And I'm thinking about purchasing some fields, but land out here is just so expensive. Like, this field's 18 acres and it's 450 grand. Like, it's just very pricey. I really want this one, but it's nearly $1 million. We may look at doing some investing and taking out a loan to do some purchasing like that. But right here is the Jack Daniel's distillery. I did a playthrough once on this map and used this. Basically all you do is you drive through with your trucks and trailers, and you dump in corn, dried corn and barley and water, and then it produces whiskey for you. And whiskey sells for a pretty good price. Where's it at? Down here in the W's. Yeah, I mean, it's $4,300 per 1,000 liters, so we might look into it. All right, welcome back. It's January. It's been a few days since I last recorded. Took some time for Thanksgiving and the holiday week, but we're back here in Montana. And you might notice I got some chickens running around. Yep, we're back doing some chicken things just for some supplemental income. So the farm I purchased has a chicken coop with it. So I purchased them, and then I bought some feed. So we're just going to have them just produce some eggs for us, just for a little bit of side income while we wait on all the cows. I think since I recorded my last clip and now, I actually got a farming simulator joystick, so I can do some more realistic unloading and stuff, and like that. I also installed one of the free DLCs. It's the straw harvester one. So with that, it'll make doing bales a little bit easier. I'm not gonna use the auto loading trailers so much, just because I want to challenge myself a little bit. But basically, there are this thing right here. I can grab like 2 big bales at once. I can attach it to a front loader or a telehandler. I think we're just gonna put a front loader on one of the tractors, but we've got our AI worker working on our other field. We'll just drive on over there. I did accidentally skip a month when purchasing cows, so we have enough cows, but I did have to buy 72 in 1 month instead of 36, but not a problem. We're technically already in the green on them for what they sell for, but we got the cows going, and we have our mower set up over here working on, which field is it? I believe it's this one. Let's just look for him on the map. Okay, he's all the way on this other side. So over here on the smaller tractor, we have the mower on the front and the tedder on the back. So he's going through and converting everything to hay. And I messed him up a little bit right there, but that's fine. And then we have the larger tractor over there working on the windrowing. We have plenty of hay to feed the cows for a long time right now. So I think what I'm going to do with this next batch is I'm going to bale it all up and then load the bales and sell them, because we are very close to the Montana Hay Company. It's just right down here. That's a cement factory right here, Montana Hay Company. So I can load up all these bales and take them over here. But yeah, I think once we do our first round of cow selling for the year, we are going to look at some fields and see what we can do with some corn. I know I just got done talking about the Jack Daniel's distillery, but to me that was like a week and a half ago, so not too fresh on my brain. But I'm thinking we will be able to get that production. It's not that expensive. It's $240,000, so we could technically buy it right now if we wanted, but we need to save the cash. And then we're going to work on some fields. I'm thinking 41 right here, a good 15 acres, and then potentially 28. So it takes barley and then corn and dried corn to make the whiskey. So I'm thinking on 28 we would go with corn. That way we have twice as much corn as we do barley, and then do barley over here. I might even venture to converting field 40 into a field and then just buying another one for the other crop. But something just to get that going. Kind of excited to get back into playing. I haven't played in a little over a week, so I've been watching lots of videos on it, keeping the ideas fresh. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything for the first video. Thank you guys for tuning in to the second series that I've ever done on YouTube with the Montana and the cows. Super excited to see where it goes from here. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next video.